everyone, welcome to our English lesson. We will kickstart this term off with some poetry. Poetry is by far my favorite section in English as it allows us to learn how to read, write, as well as how to understand any given text due to the analysis that takes place. In this lesson, we will look at how to analyze a poem using the smell analysis. In most cases, poetry analysis is seen as a challenging section in English, mainly because we never know where to start when analyzing a poem, let alone how to approach a challenging poem. This is the reason why we have devices like smell analysis, which makes analyzing a poem so much easier and fun. Keep in mind that this is just a tool that can be used and is not necessarily the only tool that can be used to analyze poetry. The first aspect that we look at is S, which stands for structure. The structure of the poem is significant as it highlights the form and the ideas of the poem. When analyzing the structure of the poem, you can consider how the poem is organized by looking at how the stanzas are arranged, if the length of the lines are regular or irregular, or even if the poem has been written in any particular shape. For instance, a poet can write a poem about a day and arrange it into 3 different stanzas to symbolize the 3 parts of a day, which are morning, afternoon, and night. This poem can further show the lines in the middle, which represent day, longer, then the last few lines of the poem shorter, to highlight how the day is longer than the night. Part of structure, we also look at the rhyme and the rhythm of the poem. Poets use a specific rhyme scheme to create a certain mood. You will notice that not all poets follow a fixed rhyme scheme. Some poets do not even have a rhyme scheme at all. This is called a free verse. For rhythm, we look at all the repeated patterns of sound that form a sort of a beat for the poem. This is usually done through the use of alliteration, assonance, and other poetic devices. The rhythm can be fast or slow, and can also evoke certain emotions like suspense, joy, or fear. Next, we look at M, which stands for message. This part focuses on the purpose of the poem, whereby we look at why the poet wrote the poem, as well as the meaning of the poem, whereby we look at what the poem is about. It is important to have an overall understanding of what the poet is trying to teach before trying to determine what the meaning of the poem is. Many poets write poems for many different reasons. One could write a poem about a new disease, to raise awareness about that disease. Some people can write a poem about love, just to explore the beauty of love. Others can write about issues of a country, to help educate people. And from that, you will take away something, whether it be to be kind to everyone because you never know what they're going through, or to always spread love, or maybe just to be conscious about your surroundings. Imagery refers to the image or the picture that is created in the mind through the use of language and figures of speech like simile, metaphor, personification, just to name a few. For instance, I can use a phrase like, "You are as cool as a cucumber." This does not mean that you literally look like a cool cucumber with shades. Instead, it means that you're very calm and collected. Or, if I say it is raining cats and dogs outside, I'm sure you're familiar of this one. It doesn't mean that dogs and cats are literally coming from above as rain. It simply emphasizes the extreme rain outside. So basically, the images that are created by the use of words in poetry do not necessarily have to be literal. In most cases, they are actually figurative. Next, we look at language. When looking at language, we're looking specifically at the diction. Diction simply refers to the word choice. Each word that is used is chosen specifically to evoke certain images and evoke certain feelings. For example, the word fiery and scorching can be used to describe a day. These words automatically make us think of extreme heat, which allows us to get an idea that it is not just a normal heat, but extreme heat. Moreover, words like pouring and drizzling can highlight the different pressure of the rain. The last word is emotion. This part focuses on the way that the poem made you feel. Poems intend to ignite certain emotions, to make you feel something. So after getting the message of the poem, or even while reading the poem, how did you feel? The same way that you're invested on your TV shows, that you feel angry if a character does something to another character, should be the same way that you should feel in poetry. So allow yourself to be fully open to feel these emotions and enjoy the poem. SMILE is a great acronym to help you remember what you should look for when analyzing a poem. So look at the structure, message, imagery, language, and emotions that you should feel, and analyzing poetry will be way easier. Remember, the more you practice, the better you get. So choose any poem, it can even be lyrics of a song, and use the SMILE analysis to analyze it. Until next time, keep smiling and conquer poetry analysis.